Hello everyone, this is Dan Gramza and welcome to Advanced Gramza Market Studies for Tuesday, August 20th. Let's open up these stock indices and see what's going on. I was looking for a relatively quiet day on Monday, not a dramatic move. I think the volatility this week is going to be in the latter part of the week. Not so much the beginning part of the week here, but we have some fundamental news coming out, and everyone's on the Fed watch to see what the minutes say about the July meeting so they can read something into it. My feeling is that if sellers are here, they're slowing down. They need an excuse to do something. Right now, we don't have it out there. Looking for a sideways to higher market in these stock indices. I also want to point out to you in the NASDAQ market, you have a benchmark. This is the way I define it. And for many of you know that we've been together for a number of years. It's my way I would discuss these candles in terms of what they represent, which is a floor perspective. I look at what the behavior would look like. I look at what it would sound or seem like on the floor of an exchange. And what they're doing here is they're selling the rallies. The issue is there follow through. And so far we don't see that. So we have to be cautious about being super bearish on the NASDAQ market, for example. Right now, I'm looking for buyers to come back into these markets. Asia right now is not giving us any indication of what's going to be going on, nor do I expect it to. We may get a couple clues when it comes through Europe, but the U.S. session really is where the action is going to be, if we're going to have it. When it comes to the currencies, I'm looking for a move back to the upside. Benchmark candle, we're staying above the midpoint. Yes, it did have a quiet day, as you can see here, but that's really what we're looking for. I think it's behaving very orderly in that respect. You know, nice, very balanced. Nobody's dominant. The bias, I believe, is for a move to the upside. I feel the same way about the Swissy. We're looking for movement there to the upside. By the way, the bullish level here, that's the second bullish level. That's at 33.10. The first bullish level is at 29.25 here in the euro. In the Swissy, we're also, again, the bias is for a move to the upside. A sideways to higher would be logical. Japanese yen, we're looking for a sideways move there. The bullish level in that market is at 102.40. The bearish level here is at 101.70. Now, the Aussie dollar, boy, so close. You know, again, if you look at a non-symmetrical pullback, I was looking for that push. You know, we needed to get that close above that swing high. Well, we did get above the swing high, but we did it on selling. So the issue right now is what we do around 90.5, right down here. Is it going to stay bouncy, consistent behavior like we see over here, or are sellers really going to pull this down? Right now in Asia, we're seeing continued weakness. You know, the RBA's got some announcements coming out, and people are focusing on interest rates, and that the expectation is that interest rates will be lowered, which also has an impact here on that currency. You'd expect lower prices at that point. But I think the jury's out on really how this market's going to digest that news. But right now in the Aussie dollar, I think we need to pay attention to that 90.50 range, how we behave if we get down there. And so we are looking for some weakness today, but not in a dramatic way. British pound, the second bullish level in that market is 155.75. The bearish level here for both bullish levels is at, make sure I give you the right one, 154.35. Again, bias is for a move to the upside. Canadian dollar, kind of similar to its brother over there in terms of the Aussie dollar. The bias for this market looks so good right here, but we've failed to get the follow through. As we've talked about in the past, the timing and how a market moves are key parameters for us. So the structure here, before this happened, beautiful, but no follow through, not closing above the swing high. And I talk about those next 2 to 3 periods being important. Well, here's an example where we saw continued weakness. We didn't get the follow through. It's sloppy. So would we want to be a buyer at this level? No. We're seeing weakness in Asia, nothing telling us to step up and want to buy that market. The bullish level here is 96.70. The bearish level in that market is at 96.42. Looking for weakness, but not dramatic. Short end of the curve, as you and I have talked about many times, very orderly. Again, that represents 90-day paper, 10-year notes, continued weakness. It's beautiful. It's what you want to see. Same thing for bonds. And what we're looking for today is an unchanged type day. And if anything, we expect volatility to the downside in both of these markets. The bullish level in the notes have been tightened up to 125.12. And in the bond, that's also been tightened up to 131.28. I am still bearish on this part of the curve. Oops, let's get over to metals. Gold, new highs on selling. Is this profit taking? Is this a market that they're selling above 1380? Are new sellers coming in? And if they are, that's a change in trend. That's a change in behavior. But I don't think we see enough evidence here to give us that answer. Now, the next 2 days, 3 days will tell us a tremendous amount of information. But right now, have we gotten high enough to find sellers? Yes, but I question their ability to give us really strong follow through to the downside. So I'm looking for an unchanged type day in both of these markets. My bias is still to the upside. Feel the same way about, copper. I don't think anything's changed in this picture. We still need to see what's happening with China in terms of its absorption of copper, but right now I think the bias is to the upside in the metals. Crude oil. Crude oil's, as you know, I'm not keen on this market. And I had some people ask me, well, then why would you have a bullish level here if you're not keen on this market? Well, because price had the right kind of setup. Price dictates what you and I do, not necessarily our opinions, right? Our opinions do not put money in our pocket or take money out of our pocket. It's price action. So if this wants to go higher, I would want to be long. I just don't think it's going to be real sustainable, as we talked about back here. And sure enough, we're seeing smaller ranges. Now we're starting to see a little bit of selling coming in. They are buying below 107. That's what those shadows tell us. So I'm looking for more of the same. I am not real confident that we have the reasons in place to give us a strong rally in that market. Now, also I want to point out to you that the bearish level here for that market's been moved up. That's at 106.10. The bullish level here is 105.10. Natural gas got a little kick here to the upside on some weather expectations. Not looking for a dramatic follow through, but I'm expecting it to continue basically at this angle, moving higher. So slow and steady is the call for our friend natural gas. In the beans market, we see a market here that did take off in yesterday's action. That is beautiful. Look at the rhythm here. Here's Thursday, here's Friday. People say, man, look, how did we get up here? I better take some profit. And that stronger opening tells us that. It gives us a clue. And for those of you in the U.S. time zone, Sunday night is where you would see that type of action. It gives you an idea of how this market's setting up. All right, and we're finding some sellers here right now in Asia. Not surprising considering we got above the magic $13. Remember, not that long ago, we were struggling trying to get a price to close above that range. So I find that just fascinating. I think the bias, even though fundamentally, if you look at supply and expectations, still look pretty good, I think right now we're looking for a market to stop and give us a rest. So I'm looking for a sideways market here in beans. And I feel the same way about corn, a sideways market there. The bearish level in this market is 467. And again, I'm not looking for a dramatic move in that market today. And also in the wheat market. Did I tell you that's 1266, by the way, the bearish level? That's been moved up a bit in beans. But again, I'm not looking for a dramatic move down. This is more of a preventative step. If somebody wanted to be more aggressive, 1293, 94, right in this range would be very aggressive. My feeling is it could easily bounce down and come right back up. So that's why I want to give it plenty of room. Now, the wheat market, it needs a reason to do something. It's not there. In this market, the bullish level was at 633, the bearish level's 631. Nothing's changed there, and I'm looking for a sideways market. Structurally, this is bearish. Behavior-wise, I'm looking for a sideways market. Well, that concludes today's Advanced Market Studies. Thank you for being with me. Looking forward to being with you again, and in the meantime, take care.